many, many moons ago, when I was a tad younger than I am now, I drew a most beautiful piece of art. But as time passes, I like to think I have, perchance, grown a bit better at drawing. And let's just talk about this piece here. You may notice the colors are bright, very saturated. People love color. I love color in my life, and of course that is beautiful. You may notice it is, I'm not looking at it. I'm like talking about it from memory, but trust I know it. It is, it's got some style. It's quite unique. Actually, for the time, as in March 27th, 2021, 5 years ago. It actually, I don't think was that unique. But you may just notice, there's some things, some anatomy. She has the tiniest hands in the world. She has this most stunning, eye demolishing, like background of all time. And that's really, really something beautiful. And I admire that about that a lot. Like, I admire myself out here with this piece. This is such a beauty. It's really a beauty. But I thought, you know what? I've tried multiple times to redraw this in the past several years. And today, as in yesterday, because I filmed my speed paint yesterday, it is time to redraw it. And let's really see how in the last 5 years, I have changed and I have improved. And I'm just gonna say, I think you guys are gonna be pretty impressed, okay? I think you guys are gonna be pretty, I think you're gonna be wowed. So let's just get speed painting. Let's just get painting away. So really, I have tried many a times to redraw this. I think my experience with growing as an artist is a bit different than the average experience, and I do want to talk about this in another video. But this video, I'm going to talk more about how it felt being stuck in a place where it was never really improving, because I think there has been a long span of time. I stopped drawing for like perchance 3 years. And that entire time, I felt very sad. Like, I wasn't drawing, and it just felt like, dang, I want to be drawing, but every time I draw, I'm not improving. Everything looks bad every time I draw it. I hate this. And that was just not a fun way. So I didn't draw. And every time, I like to redraw things. I like to be like, man, I'm really improving. And so it was hard. It was hard when I wasn't. I kept feeling so stagnant and so stuck in the way I was drawing. And it was very, very, very much so, like, the most discouraging thing in the world. I felt like everyone around me, I could see their improvement. I was like, man, they're getting so much better at, like, at everything. I was like, man, this way they're improving their art is so crazy and so cool, and I wish I could do that. And I mean, like I said, I want to talk about this in a different video more in depth, but my taking a break from art, I think, was the best thing I could have done for my art. And there's a lot of reasons for that, but I was just stuck so long, for like such a long period of time, thinking I'm never going to improve. I'm never going to get better. I'm going to be stuck here. I don't even know why I make art. I'm so bad at art. This sucks. I hate this. I hate this. I hate this. And I wish I could go back in time and tell my younger self, girl, you're gonna be okay. You will get better at art. Like, art is not some sort of linear progression thing where you either get better or you don't. Art, you ebb and flow. You do not just constantly improve or constantly decline. Oh, she is so cute. She's really distracting me. Are you guys seeing this? Oh my gosh, she is so cute. But I feel like I should just sit this way so you guys can see her. But it was like that. It was like, I wish I could go back in time and be like, you're going to get better. My hair looks a mess. You are going to get better. And continuing to like be like, oh, I'm never gonna get better. I'm stuck. It's horrible. It's horrible. It's horrible. And then it wasn't gonna get me anywhere. It was keeping me. I think that was what kept me trapped in my bad art for so long, was just constantly thinking, oh, I'm so bad. And you know what they say? comparison is the thief of joy. And that is 100% why I stopped liking art and why I stopped liking to draw. It's because I kept seeing people around me draw so well, and I was like, dang, why can I not draw that good? But I don't think it should never have been about that. And I think once I realized that art is not about how good it is or like whatever, what have you, is when I had the biggest leaps and bounds in my art improvement. And I do think for people who are like stuck in this thought of like, I will never get good at art. I will never ever get good. I'm always going to be bad. Like all my art is always going to look a certain way. I just don't like think not. Think differently, perchance. Easier said than done. But I think you just gotta like get yourself out of that mindset that art should even be something that you need to be good at to enjoy. I feel like especially with the rise of like AI and like people not waiting around for the process to do things to get things done, you know? Like, oh, well, AI art, you can just get it done in a quick little flash of a button press. It's like, that's not the point of art. The point of art is to make it, not to get it, like, not to see it's not about the final destination, it's about the journey. Period. And I think that the more you focus on, like, the final outcome of a drawing, the worse it'll be for you. Because I think when I was younger and I was less self-conscious about my art, like, when I thought my art was literally, like, the hottest shit around, I did not really care too much about the final outcome. I cared more about, like, this is so fun, and I like to draw. I like to have a good time with this. This is something fun that I actually enjoy doing. That was when I made the most art in my entire life. Like, would fill up sketchbooks like that because I was just having such a good time. Versus when I started comparing myself to everyone online and being like, I'm never gonna be this good. My art is never gonna look this way. I stopped having fun and I stopped wanting to draw, and then I just felt really stagnant. And then every time I tried to draw, I kept trying to make my art look a certain way, and so I was never able to have fun with it. And I think that just really was a big downfall of mine in my art skill, was what I have just said. All of that, just like, it just made me feel like my art was not worth anything, like it wasn't worth taking the time to draw if it wasn't even going to be good in the first place. But like I've said, that's not what art is about. Art should be not about just like what you make at the end. I think it's so much more than that. I think I have definitely learned that. So I'm so very glad. And I think if you're at a place in your art where you're like, I don't feel like I'm ever gonna get better, I feel like I'm stuck, I feel like, I feel like deep down everyone knows that's not true. Like, that's not, I wouldn't say illogical, but it's a little illogical. That's not true. That's not how things work. At least that was for me. Like, I think deep down I knew that wasn't real. Like, I knew at some point my art would change, whether I thought that was good or bad. I just knew something would be different, and I always knew that. I think everyone kind of knows that. Perchance not. But I feel like that's like, deep down, I think everyone kind of knows, you will improve at things with time. So I think you can think that, but still be like, I'm never going to improve. Like, I was definitely there. I was stuck there for such a long time. And I think, especially nowadays, where you just see so much art everywhere, I actually do not really subscribe to the, like, stop consuming and start creating. Like, in a sense, but, like, specifically when it comes to, like, drawing and stuff, I think I don't necessarily, like, agree with that 100%, but in a specific case, I think, like, you consume so much art and you get so focused on the art other people are consuming that you don't think you're ever gonna improve, you don't think you're ever gonna get better, you think whatever about your art. Like, you're like, oh, well, like, look at, I don't know if y'all have seen Erin Dougal's video about how she left Smosh, but in it, she talks about how, like, you don't think you're worth this because you've seen so many people doing it, and you're like, well, they don't need another person to make something because there's already so many people making it. I think that is part of it for at least me, is like, there's so many people making things, and my stuff is not so good, and so why should I even be making things at all? I shouldn't. And I think that really got in my head. I think you just gotta throw that out. I think I do think people, especially, I mean, this makes sense. This is not something anyone should be flamed for, but I think people lose their why for like why they started drawing or why they draw. And I think that's sort of stensia. That's stensia, and it's not good. And I think when you remember, like, what I've just been saying, like, art is for fun, or like whatever your real reason was, like your root of why you started drawing, that will help you improve more than anything, perchance. Yeah. Yeah. I think that is so true. And I also think that I had another thought, and I just can't quite remember it right now. But I think you just can't get so, I just forgot everything I was gonna say. You'll improve. You will get better. And I think you shouldn't doubt yourself on that. If you think you will never get better, that's not true. I don't even think it's a situation like if you think you're never gonna get better, you'll never get better. That's just not. You will get better. You can think you're never gonna get better, and you will. And I remember it. Your art is worth putting it out. Your art does not need some sort of like a certain amount of likes or a certain amount of like you liking it to be worth creating. So doesn't like, I don't even think this is like so much of like your art will get better, as in you will be happy with your art eventually. You know, every artist will go through a period of not liking their art, of wishing they drew a different way. I had a thought I wanted to add to this. I think a lot of people will, like, I think when we see people redrawing art, there are people in the comments who are like, I liked how it looked more in the 2019 version versus the 2025 version. And it's like, okay, but the person who drew it likes their art better now. So even if people don't think your art is like, I don't know, like it is, even if people think that it's not like technically better, whatever that even means, there is a point in time where you will enjoy what you create. And I think that is the real improvement that people are looking for, is to look at what they are seeing and being like, I love how this looks, that's amazing. So I think so much as like, oh, I want to improve technically. That's obviously an incredible endeavor that is amazing. And like, I think wanting to improve your artistic skills technically is like very good. And obviously a lot of people have good reason to want to do that. But I think that is not the only reason or the only way to improve your art. I think as long as you like your art, you have improved. If you used to not like your art and you like it now, you've improved. You've gotten better. You have created art that suits the way you feel better. It suits who you are now versus how maybe it didn't. Booyah. Boomyah. But that is not forever. You will not always feel like that. And I think beam it into your mind. Really do. Because I think, yeah. I do kind of want to talk about a bit of my process for this drawing. I had a different sketch that it wasn't even, it's like I was in the middle of not in the middle. I had just started rendering it, and I looked at it, I was like, this is just not, it didn't feel like the original piece as much as I wanted it to. Like it felt like almost like a completely different piece that took basically like no inspiration at all from the original drawing. And I didn't like that. I was like, well, I feel like it should be at least a little bit more similar. It was like a different, I'll show it, but it was like a different color palette, and I don't know. The vibes just felt different, and I was like, this just doesn't fit. Like, I think this is cute, and I think I may come back to it in a different time. But I wanted it to resemble more of the original most beautiful piece. That's what I wanted it to resemble a little bit more. So that is what I did. I started over, and it wasn't a complete start over. I kept the same kind of pose and the same kind of like composition. I added a few things, changed some things up. The only thing I changed was the coloring, the colors I used, and the outfit. Well, I guess the outfit it hadn't really gotten too, like, it hadn't really pinned it down very well. But I was honestly struggling so much. This was, for me, very much a like trust the process, because there was so much of this drawing where I was like, I do not like how this looks. This kind of looks bad. Should I start over again? But I'm glad I stuck through it because I love how this turned out. I think one thing that I love to skip the detail phase and just go straight to rendering because it's my favorite part. And yeah, perchance setting up a good foundation makes it easier for me. But is it as fun? Not really. That was the issue with my other, like, my last drawing I did that I posted, like, where I was like, oh, I got straight, like, I didn't plan out the lighting very well. That was because I was so excited to render. I did not lay down a strong foundation. Hamilton reference? I did not lay a strong foundation for my rendering steps, and that was a bit annoying. And for that, it was just annoying. I was like, I know what I'm doing, but it's just annoying. I could have done this way easier if I had just done it right the first time. But here, I was like, I just skipped through it immediately because I was like, I just want to get to rendering. I love rendering. I love drawing. I love coloring. And so I skipped a lot of the basic steps. As in, I just didn't make the sketch very clean. And so I was like, what am I drawing? What is supposed to go here? And I was not able to see the vision as clearly. I couldn't see my own vision. And then I think once I got the, like, vest kind of colored in the hand and, like, everything done, I was like, oh, this is actually really good. And I really like this. So very much trust the process. I did not until I did. Perfect. Also, I was struggling so much with the background. I could not for the life of me figure out how I wanted it to look. And you will see that. I just dropped something. You will definitely see that because I think it was like, I should have watched the speed paint again. But it was one color and then it was white, or it was like a kind of, I don't even know, but it was like white, and then I tried to make it so there's like a spotlight, and then I didn't like how that looked, and then I just made it all like white again or something like that, and then I was like, oh god, well this is like, because that little phone, I don't know if it's, well, I mean, there's a, I don't know how far I am. I don't, like, I never know how long I'm going to talk, so I don't speed up my speed paint until I'm done talking, because I'm like, well, I need it to match the time I talk. So, but anyways, I didn't know, like, when I made the little phone, I was like, oh, I actually really like that color, like the blues and the brown, the blues and the purple. I really like how that looks. That's super cute. I want to do that. So then I had to, like, go all the way around, and because I don't use layers, I only use one layer when I render. I had to, like, go through, and I'm 100% sure there's an easier way to do that. I just don't know, and I cannot be bothered. And I think valid. You know what? Sometimes it's fun to do things the hard, more difficult way just for the process. That's what this is all really about. It's not about the journey. I mean, no, it is about the journey. That's what it's about. It's not about the destination, it's about the journey. Yeah. Bro, I'm kind of chill right now. Kind of just nonchalant, huh? But yeah, I was struggling. I don't know if you can tell in the, like, speed paint that I was struggling, but I was. Also, there are some parts that I changed. I low-key regret because I erased the face and then I drew it again. I regret that. I do the version where the speed paint ends. I went back in and was like, I actually don't like this face. Let me change it, and I like it more now. I also forgot to add the cord during the speed paint, so I had to go back and change that because I was like, oh gosh. I kept looking at it and being like, I want to change this. I want to change that. I want to change this. I want to change that. So I kind of did. There is, like, definitely a point in art where you have to just stop. You have to stop. Let it go. It looks good. Just move on. And I think part of the reason that I kept wanting to go back is because I was having so much fun drawing it that I was like, let me go back and draw more because I didn't want to start a whole new drawing. I have, but, like, I didn't want to at the time. So I just was like, let me go back and add more and more and more. But this is no true hate to my old art. I think my old art got me to where I am now. And I think I've improved, and that's amazing. And I think my old art is just proof of how far I've come. So that's amazing, and that's beautiful, and I love that. And there's no need for me to be like, oh, this art is so bad, gosh. Because there's nothing there. It's different. No, it's a bit avant-garde. It's a bit, it's got some character to it. Does Felicity look like, oh, should I have talked about that more? This is a drawing of my OC, my original character Felicity, who does not have a world, but she is kind of a self-insert, and I love having a self-insert. Can it be called a self-insert? Well, it's a self-insert to my own story. I don't know if that's a self-insert, but Her name's Felicity. I love the name Felicity. I love that name. And she has a girlfriend, and she's amazing and gay. Awesome. And that's all you really need to know about her, and that's kind of all there is to know about her. Maybe, because the thing about it is I have trouble fleshing out characters because I think in the way my art struggled to improve because I kept focusing on what other people were doing. That's how I feel about making characters. I get so in my head about making a character that other people will like, or that like it matches other people's standards, that I don't make characters very often. I have a lot of like basic character idea, like overall kind of look and like kind of character type, if you will. And I never go anywhere with them because I'm too scared to do that. So everyone has room for improvement, me included. Me freaking included. But yeah, I love how this drawing came out, and I do think I've improved a lot, and I'm really glad that I stuck it through. If you take two things away from this video, I hope it's not about the destination, it's about the journey, and you will improve. You will. Amazing. That was what I was gonna say, but I don't remember what it was, but it was something really profound and poetic, as you know I am. So, thanks. I hope. Oh, actually, let's truly just look at them side by side. Of course, we have the OG, the original, this is the O freaking G. And then here, of course, is the new version. It's so beautiful and pretty. I feel like this eye is closing a lot. But I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope you guys know that art is not some sort of linear progression thing. You will improve. Do not tell yourself you will not. You can, and you will. No matter what you do. Ha! That's awesome. So I hope you guys loved watching it. Actually, low-key, drop down in the comments below, because I've been kind of conflicted on this. If we not like these videos, it doesn't matter if y'all like them, I like them. So I'm gonna keep doing them. But tell me if there's like anything, like, do you want them to be longer? Do we want them to be like different? Do we like music? Do we not like music in the background? This one I'm gonna have, I don't know if I'm gonna do no music yet as I'm recording this. We'll see how I feel during the editing process. But yeah, just tell me how you guys feel about it, because I do some of these things. It's like I want to do the overarching type of video of like talking to camera while drawing is in background. That will stay the same. But how long these videos are, if there's music in the background, what kind of chatting do we like? Because I just like to yap. It really doesn't have to be about anything specific. So these are not the only videos I will be making. I just like making them, and they're easy to make for me because I love to talk. So just let me know. Just let me know how we all feel about that. Just anything. Comment. You hashtag love me. Do you think I'm cute? Yes or no? Emma from Total with Hat Preference. But also drop a comment down below for LeChonk Love. Comment down below for the Chonk Love. Oh. She opened her eyes a little bit. That's scary. But thank you so much for watching. I'll let you guys see her as I say my outro. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you hashtag loved it. Smash the like buttons. Like for LeChonk. Oh, that should be a new hashtag. Hashtag like for LeChonk. And I hope you guys have an amazing day. I love you so much. And I hope you just think I've improved so much.